Gold is exploding in 2025, breaking records around the world. It's not just a headline, it's a seismic event shaking the very foundations of global finance. All-time highs are being shattered, not by inches, but by miles, leaving market analysts and seasoned investors completely stunned. From the trading floors of New York to the digital exchanges in Shanghai, the message is deafeningly clear. The world is in a frantic, unprecedented race for gold. But if you think this is just another market rally, you're missing the real story. This isn't about day traders chasing a fleeting trend or a temporary spike driven by market sentiment. What we are witnessing is far more profound, more calculated, and infinitely more significant. This is a deliberate, tectonic shift in global power, happening right under our noses, disguised as simple market volatility. While the public is distracted by inflation numbers and political noise, the biggest financial players on Earth, the central banks, the sovereign wealth funds, the shadowy billionaires who truly run the world, are quietly, almost secretly, executing the largest wealth transfer in modern history. They are systematically moving their assets away from paper and into power. They're dumping currencies, bonds, and equities, assets that are ultimately just promises written on paper or stored as digits on a screen. Promises that can be broken, devalued, or erased in an instant. In their place, they are acquiring the one asset that has outlasted every empire, every currency, and every government for 5,000 years. They are buying gold, not as an investment, but as an insurance policy against a future they see coming. A future the rest of us are being told to ignore. This is the story the mainstream media won't tell you. They'll report on the price, but they won't explain the war. A hidden gold war is being waged in the shadows of the global economy. It's a battle for control, for sovereignty, and for the very future of money itself. It's a quiet rebellion against a system built on debt and endless money printing. This conflict will determine who holds real power in the decades to come, and it is reshaping our future in ways we are only beginning to understand. What you are about to see is the culmination of years of research into this silent conflict. We will expose the key players, their motives, and what their actions mean for your wealth, your freedom, and your family. Welcome to the Hidden Gold War. When the world gets uncertain, smart money runs to safety. War, inflation, and currency instability are pushing investors to one place: gold. The dollar's weakening, rates are dropping, and the market is on edge. And that perfect storm is fueling one of the biggest gold booms in modern history. While individual investors are flocking to gold as a safe haven, there's a much larger, more secretive force at play, operating on a global scale. Here's the part most people miss. It's not just private investors buying gold. The biggest buyers are governments themselves. Central banks around the world are on an unprecedented buying spree, hoarding record levels of gold. This isn't a slow, casual accumulation. It's happening quietly, strategically, and with astonishing speed. In the last 2 years alone, they've acquired more gold than at any point in modern history, a clear signal that a fundamental shift is underway in the global financial system. So, what's driving this clandestine gold rush? The answer is simple: a profound and accelerating loss of trust in the US dollar. For decades, the dollar has been the world's reserve currency, the bedrock of international trade. But that dominance is now being openly challenged. Nations are waking up to the risks of relying on a single currency, especially one controlled by a foreign government whose interests may not align with their own. At the forefront of this movement is China. Beijing is systematically reducing its dependence on the US dollar to insulate its economy from American political and economic pressure. By converting its massive dollar reserves into physical gold, China is not just diversifying its assets, it's making a bold declaration of economic independence. Every gold bar added to its vaults is a step towards a world where Washington's influence is diminished. Then there's Russia. Facing extensive Western sanctions, Moscow has learned a hard lesson about the weaponization of the dollar. By cutting Russia off from the global financial system, the US demonstrated how swiftly dollar-denominated assets could be frozen. In response, Russia has aggressively accumulated gold, a sanction-proof asset that can't be devalued or seized by a foreign power. For them, Gold isn't just an investment. It's a tool for economic survival and geopolitical defiance. But this trend extends far beyond just China and Russia. Emerging powers like India, Turkey, and Brazil are following suit, seeking to protect their own economies from currency volatility. Even traditional U.S. allies in Europe are quietly repatriating their gold reserves, bringing their bullion home from vaults in New York and London. It's a clear vote of no confidence in the current system. When nations start moving their physical gold, it's a sign they are preparing for a future where old alliances and financial certainties no longer apply. They understand that when the global currency power structure inevitably shifts, gold becomes the ultimate, universally accepted insurance policy, the final arbiter of wealth and power in a world of uncertainty. This isn't just economics, it's a power struggle. For decades, the US dollar was untouchable. But now, gold is quietly challenging that dominance. Every time the Fed prints more money, every time debt rises, gold gains ground. The dollar represents control. Gold represents freedom. And right now, that balance is shifting faster than ever before. So we arrive at the most critical question for anyone watching. Is 2025 the time to buy gold? With prices hitting unprecedented highs, it's natural to wonder if you've missed the boat. But to understand what's happening, you need to look beyond the daily price charts. According to leading financial analysts, what we're witnessing isn't just another temporary price spike driven by market panic. Gold is fundamentally revaluing. This isn't a bubble, it's a correction, a great recalibration. For decades, its price was artificially suppressed, disconnected from its true role in the financial system. Now it's breaking free from those constraints. This means gold is adjusting to a new normal, one where its value is no longer solely dictated by Western paper markets, but by the immense physical demand from central banks and the shifting balance of global economic power. It's finding its true price in a world where trust in fiat currency is eroding. But remember, timing always matters. The temptation to wait for a dip can be strong, but in a revaluation scenario, the dips become shallower and the floor keeps rising. Waiting for the perfect entry point is a fool's errand. The real mistake is not entering at all. The key isn't to perfectly time the market, but to have time the market. If you're considering an investment now, you must think long-term. Gold is not a speculative play for quick profits. It is the bedrock of a portfolio, an anchor in the storm. It's about preserving the wealth you've worked hard to build for yourself, your family, and for generations to come. That's why you must not chase the hype. The mainstream media will focus on the daily drama, the noise, the volatility. They encourage emotional decisions. Instead, you must understand history. Gold has outlived every empire, every currency, and every government that has ever existed. From the Roman denarius to the British pound sterling and the modern US dollar, all paper currencies eventually return to their intrinsic value, zero. Gold, however, endures. It holds its value across millennia, a silent witness to the follies of men and their fleeting financial systems. It is not a get-rich-quick move. It is the ultimate stay-rich strategy. It's not about speculation, it's about sovereignty. In a world of unlimited money printing, gold is finite, honest, and real. It's the final insurance policy against a system that is quietly defaulting on its promises. If gold could talk, it would say, "I've watched civilizations rise and fall. I've seen kings, banks, and nations disappear. Paper fades, but I remain. Because I don't promise value, I am value." And in 2025, as the world prints more money than ever before, that message has never been louder. The question isn't whether gold will rise or fall. The real question is, who will understand it before it's too late? Follow Think Too Rich. For more financial truths the world doesn't want you to hear, because real wealth doesn't fade, it shines. If this video gave you a new way to see money, don't just scroll away. Hit like, drop a comment below, and subscribe to Think Too Rich, where we turn financial truth into financial power. Because the world doesn't reward the loud, it rewards the informed. Stay sharp, stay focused, and always think too rich.